Hi, I'm Matt and I teach BTEC Media here at Godalming College. BTEC Media is a little bit different to A-level media studies in purely the way that it's assessed. In A-level you have to do an exam or 2 exams at the end of the 2-year course. In BTEC Media there aren't any exams. There are a number of external assessments that sort of resemble exams, but they're not exams as students would know them from their experience at school. The BTEC Media course that we offer here at college is a double BTEC Media course, so it counts for 2 A-levels, and that's both 2 in terms of 2 of your 3 subjects that you'd need to choose at college, but also it counts for 2 of your A-levels towards university and UCAS points as well. So the way that you're assessed, you'd end up leaving college with a distinction, a merit, or a pass, or any of the grades in between. It's a very portfolio-based subject. So with BTECs compared to A-levels, for example, it's very practical in nature. You would end up leaving with a considerable portfolio that we use online to submit work, to take away to future employers, to take to university interviews, or to simply just sort of show friends and family if you're not going to pursue a career in the film or television industry. Another advantage of BTEC Media is the way that you're assessed allows for lots of feedback. So everything that you do in the BTEC Media course goes towards your final grade. The way BTECs work is you'd have a deadline, say on a Friday afternoon, you'd hand in an essay or you'd hand in a report. Your teacher would mark it, give you feedback, and then you'd be able to resubmit that work. So if you didn't quite get the top mark the first time round, you're given a little bit of feedback, areas to improve, and then you've got some time to turn that around and bump that grade up. So it allows for plenty of communication. Students usually know what grade they're on, what they're likely to get at the end of the year or at the end of the 2 years, and there's plenty of feedback and communication about performance and how to progress and what to do next in terms of next steps. So our BTEC Media course that we offer here at Godalming is a BTEC in film and television production. So some BTEC courses are still called BTEC Media in different colleges, but what our specialism is in film and television production. We've got a large green screen studio that we use. Students are welcome to use that studio throughout the 2-year course, but they will definitely use it in their 2nd year when they do a unit that's called multi-camera production. This unit, students make a 20 to 25 minute TV program with hosts, with guests, with cutaways, with previously filmed VTs. It's a large unit that assembles all the different skills that students would have picked up over the 1st year, when typical units might include film production, where students are put in groups again to make a film of a specific genre, single camera production and editing, where students again put in groups and they make a film with just 1 camera, or specializing in certain editing techniques as well. Lots of the units are group worked. Some of them also contain some individual aspects of it. A standard BTEC unit would comprise of 3 parts. The first part being individual, where you would need to write, say, an essay, write a report. The second and third part, they tend to be group-based, where you end up planning, filming, and editing your final group film. One of the myths of BTEC Media is there's no written work. That's definitely not the case with this BTEC Media course. There aren't any exams, but there is plenty of writing. Fortunately, computer-based is where we're at currently in this college and on this course, so if you've got your own device, that's perfect. One of the common questions we get at BTEC is, do you need your own equipment? And the short answer to that is no. We have a full-time media technician who's got access to plenty of Canon DSLR cameras. We're constantly upgrading. We're starting to experiment with mirrorless cameras now as well. Tripods, steady cams, all sorts of different equipment that we are constantly looking at upgrading and changing. You will not need your own camera equipment. If you do have your own camera equipment, you're more than welcome to use it in your productions, but we would encourage you to use our equipment. And the same applies for editing. We've got 15 iMacs currently in operation in the editing suite. We teach you how to use those iMacs. We don't expect anyone to already know how to use the editing software. And the same applies for students' own personal devices. If you've got your own laptop, then of course, please do bring it in to do your work, to do your writing. But if not, we have some availability of computers in the college as well. One of the benefits of doing a BTEC is that independent nature of the course, and independent nature of working and studying at a sixth form college. So we encourage our students to film on location and encourage students to get away from the college site in order to get their filming done. It does make for much better quality films if they're actually filming it on location. So often our students can be seen wandering around the Surrey hills with cameras and tripods and Steadicams, getting the perfect shot and getting into all sorts of interesting situations with filming, but all worthwhile in terms of what the final cut would end up looking like. Here at Godalming College, on the BTEC course, you'll end up being taught by a range of different teachers, each with their own specialty and specialism. All of our staff have worked in some form or another in the film and television industry, and using that range and that variety of staff and their experience can be really useful, certainly in the second year when students are looking at UCAS applications or work experience and personal statements and cover letters and so on, but also in terms of employer engagement. We often get work experience opportunities thrown at us by local employers and through our own connections. There's no formal work experience unit that we study here at Godalming College for the BTEC. However, when these opportunities do present themselves, we prioritise the BTEC media students to allow them to get hands-on experience with professional work experience in that realm there. So students after their BTEC here at college can go on to do a range of things. Lots of them pursue the sort of more traditional route of going to university to further their studies in film production or media production. As mentioned before, with this, the course is perfect. It's exactly parallel to the number of UCAS points that you would get at an A-level. There is no difference. And lots of colleges and lots of universities are now looking at BTEC students with a bit more of a sort of positive eye in terms of the portfolio that they may have already created and what they can bring and what they can produce going forward to university. If university isn't for you, or you don't think it's for you, then equally, as mentioned, it's quite a large portfolio-based work, so going straight into the world of work can be a relatively easy opportunity there for BTEC students because they've asked from an interview experience if they've done any experience with music videos or done any experience with filmmaking or editing or so on, and students can show potential employers not just that yes I have, but here's the example, here's my portfolio, here's my diary, plenty of evidence to support not only that they did it, but also that they had a potentially positive experience doing it and learnt a lot and can bring a lot to that employer there. So we do have plenty of engagement and lots of different routes that students take after studying the BTEC media course with us here at Godalming College. Why do I like media? I like media because it's creative, first off, but also it sounds cliched, but every day is a different day in terms of what students come up with. The units that we've studied are also, they've been the same for at least the last sort of 5 or 6 years, but every year students surprise me in terms of what they can bring to the plate in terms of their creativity, the way they interpret the brief and the ideas that they come up with. Every year it's different and every year it's a bit of a surprise, and it's fascinating to see, and it's such a dynamic and creative environment to be working in. I love it and I wouldn't want to do anything else.